All right, this is test one. Huh. Wow, my eyebrows are definitely need some trimming, including the rest of my face. Um, damn, there's just shit everywhere. Anyways, wait, yeah, the cameras, they're like reversed, so it's not like a direct mirror. Anyways, I kind of have crazy eyes. Anyways, so I'm um, starting this video blog documenting my process of just turning things around, turning my life around, just bouncing back from things just totally screwing up. Well, or my patterns of self sabotage screwing things up is probably a more accurate way of describing it. Because everything wanted to make me succeed, and part of me didn't want to do that well, so I had to pull back and pull the plug on things and blow things up, which I'm sure a lot of you have watching this is probably has experienced more than their fair share of uh, unfortunate saboteur events, which some of the best laid plans the universe had in store for you, you just outright rejected it to the shock and dismay of family and friends who were on the sidelines watching, going like, what the hell is wrong with this person? Which I would have probably said the same thing about myself if I was on the outside looking in. So, but it's like, okay, that's happened. But it's repeating, and there's always new opportunities, new great things that are coming, and ways to bounce back. And so, these, so the following videos I'm going to be producing are going to be about covering all the details of my journey of getting from where I am now to where I want to be. And, I think a lot of the same places that a lot of you guys would want to be too, girls too. Um, and yeah, just, you know, taking care of myself, taking care of my potential, building on it and actually experiencing, what the full value and amazing things that life has to offer and not settling for mediocrity, the cliche thing of like, oh, being extraordinary and all that kind of stuff. But it, ultimately, it sucks being mediocre. And it's like, but being is just something we're doing. We can change it, I guess. So being mediocre doesn't mean you have to stay that way. You can shift things around and change things. So that's where I'm at. And yeah, so the areas that I'm focusing on is, health, fitness, getting in great shape. I already started working this workout program, but now it's about like staying with it. At least in my own experience, I find it easier to start things and extremely difficult to finish things or continuing things. So that's been the greatest challenge. Um, so just kind of give you background, like starting out where I'm at right now is, well, leading up to the end of, last year, I got married. It didn't work out so well. I definitely combination of picked not the right match for me, I guess is a one nice way of putting it. Even to the point of that pretty much every family member and most of my friends were all like, why are you marrying her? Like, why are you rushing into this? Like, I'm not sure, you seem to be not quite the right match. Like, you seem like such an odd match. Like, you don't seem to be a right fit at all, and are you sure? I don't know. Like, why are you rushing it like that? Stuff like that. And and of course I was like, no, I know I'm right, and I'm just gonna ignore all the evidence that is telling me that I'm wrong. So just in complete denial and rebellion against like ever mounting, wall of opinion and evidence that I was not right, which is kind of ridiculous. But I was like, damn, whatever that personality belief that I had underlying there, it was putting up a big damn fight, and it wasn't about to go down at any point, even with literally dozens and dozens of people in opposition. So I'm just like, man, imagine if I was actually like standing up for something noble or something. Then that would have been a really noble, powerful thing, But when you're like standing up against everyone who's like trying to not have you suffer and fall and on your face and everything, and you're like, no, I am committed to falling on my face and hurting myself as badly as possible, then I'm just like, it's just fun, kind of funny. It's funny now. I mean, it wasn't funny then, obviously, but it's kind of it's a tragic comedy kind of stuff, So I'm just trying to have a little less tragic comedy in my life, a little bit more like, heartfelt comedy, and a little more, positive, fun outcomes, and not the stuff that's been happening. Anyways, yeah, and then I had been investing, like I got into, Bitcoin. Initially did really, really well, to like the surprise of many people. And I think in a similar way, it was just like everyone was so surprised. Everyone was like, "Oh my God, you're like doing amazing, everything." And kind of in the same way, it was like, I must rebel. No, I'm not doing that amazing. I'm actually not doing that good, kind of thing. And then when they're like, "Dude, you need to sell. You should sell," and literally several people all around the same time, and these people that were all very financially well off and did great, and had been doing great. And I mean, their opinion was definitely extremely valid. And I just was like, I don't know, and hesitated and everything. And of course, what ended up happening was, things crashed, and then lost all of it. And then, of course, it was like, so you compound that with, then I was so miserable in the marriage that I finally said, screw this. I'm just going to get divorced now. And of course, that kind of follows also the pattern of just starting something, not finishing it. So I got married with certain intentions in mind, and then left. So just like, this was like a complete waste of even starting it, all that effort and energy that went into that pretty much didn't result in anything positive, only a lot of negative. I mean, I guess there's some positives in terms of like self-awareness, but that came at a pretty high cost. But like I said, at least, there's no kids, and no one's dead, and no one's in jail. So if you look at it on that spectrum, it's not that high of a cost. It was more just a time, money, and toll on emotions, and loss of health, and being stressed out of my mind. Probably losing 5 years of life from all of the stress load that I was under, self-imposed, of course. So yeah. So you combine the loss of all, the marriage ending, leaving that, being totally devastated. And, part of it is also like you lose your dreams. I think that was the biggest pain, the biggest hit, was like, had all of these hopes and dreams of vision of what things would be and turn it out. And I was like so attached to that outcome, and then to just have it all just fall apart, it was just devastating, you know. And then you combine that with I had all these hopes and dreams, you know, of what was going to happen. With I'm like, oh, I'm finally completely turning the corner financially, and I'm going to be completely out of debt, and you know, and be, you know, finally become financially wealthy and all this stuff, and then have all of that end as well, you know, within a month or so of the marriage ending. You know, it was like getting a double, you know, a double punch to the face. You know, it was like a knockout blow for me. You know, so um, you know, and I'm not like looking for any sympathy or anything right now. It's just retelling what happened, and I mean, I'm slightly amused at the moment, which I don't know if I should be. Sometimes I think that might be part of the self-sabotaging, like to suffer, beat myself up, set myself up to fail, and then get the excitement, and it's kind of twisted. Yeah, so the whole thing is all twisted and dysfunctional. So that's what I'm really working on, trying to figure out how to shift and change out of this twisted, dysfunctional, repeating patterns that I've been recurring theme, um, you know, throughout my whole life. And, you know, so I'm just kind of like, okay, I'm tired. I'm tired of all this. These recurring patterns and behaviors have been, they're fucking exhausting. And I'm just tired of those. And part of it, and you know, I don't know, you can probably see it. I'm just like, I just look kind of tired, and I'm just like, fuck. It's like you know, it's like, it's not that life is beating me up. It's, you know, it's like I've just allowed it. And I think a lot of other people probably have experienced something similar, where they just, their own dysfunctional patterns have beaten themselves into submission, you know, which is has by definition the self-defeating pattern. So anyways, that's what so that's what I'm up to. Yeah, and then I've been overweight pretty much my whole life, trying to lose, and every time I get close to, you know, there's also another, you know, story that pretty much at least 8 out of 10, I bet at least 7 out of 10 people can relate to. You know, it's like always you get close to that moment where you're gonna finally get in shape and lose all this weight, and then just when you start making real progress and you're getting close to getting there, then suddenly something happens, boom, off the rails. So yeah, so I'm like 52 days into this other workout program, kettlebell workout program, you know, and I can already tell there's moments where my mind is like, oh, you know, you're kind of tired today, or, you know, your knee is kind of achy, you know, you should probably take the day off, you know. And I usually just always just kind of fall into that. And even the previous year, I'd made a lot of progress. And then one day, right after I got 4 solid months into this workout program, and I genuinely made serious progress, I remember the day that I had my left shoulder the muscle was feeling really sore, and then that thought, and you know, I was kind of tired, and the thought of like, oh, you know, you're sore, your shoulder, it's that muscle is really it's really sore. You know, you really should take the day off. You know, you should skip today's workout for sure. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah. And then it's like, oh yeah, you know, you should really be working on this instead. You know, do this new thing right now. And oh, okay, you know, and then of course that takes up the whole day, and then you know 2 days go by, and then I'm like, oh crap, I didn't do the workout. Oh, okay, well, it's okay. Well, you know, my shoulder still kind of feels kind of sore, so I better take one more day. And then, you know, 4 days go by, and then 5 days go by, and then the new things start getting into Bitcoin stuff. it's like, oh wait, no, I could do a little more research first, and before I know it, oh, it's time for bed. I don't have time to work out now. And then a week goes by, 2 weeks go by, month goes by, 2 months goes by, everything goes to hell. Now I'm depressed. 6 months go, and 6 months later, I wake up going, "What the hell just happened?" It's like that, and I don't want that to happen again. So that's a big reason for why I'm doing these videos. Is that I wanted to, keep it like an accountability blog that I think hopefully would, give ideas and inspire other people as well that may be struggling with a lot of these same issues, bouncing back from a failed marriage, bouncing back from a major financial loss, bouncing back from just, failed goals at transforming their body and their health, and then I'll just, share other things along the way, doing, also doing more workshops and seminars and stuff like that to improve myself, and I definitely will share more about all of those things along the way in this process. So, yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at right now, and then I'm just going to be really, my commitment is to continue to be as authentic and open as possible in this, be vulnerable, just tell it like it is, and, my successes, my failures, my insights, pieces of wisdom and knowledge that I come across, and also just share other people that I've, other friends and mentor figures that, I find extremely valuable, that I would like to share with you guys too. So, yeah, so that's where I'm at. I'll go into more details in the coming videos. I just kind of wanted to put a kind of a basic starter video and go from there, so just starting one day at a time. That's all you can do, and but I'm feeling hopeful. It's like, okay, starting in a hole, but step one is stop digging. So this video is officially I'm stop digging the damn hole and actually start working on getting out of the damn hole. So if that's where you're at too, then I welcome you to continue following along and watch until the next video. All right, till next time, see ya.